Hey, what's up guys? Mr. Flores here, and again, this is the second video for finding linear equations. Okay, the last video was pretty straightforward, pretty simple. It dealt with finding linear equations in slope-intercept form for lines that were basically lines where you were just given the slope and y-intercept. A couple of them I gave you the coordinates and the slope. Other ones I gave you the y-intercept and the coordinates. But today, in this video, it's going to be a little more difficult, okay? So basically, what this video is, let's say we have, let's say we have a graph that's going through two coordinates, okay? All you need for a line is 2 points, okay? So basically what's happening here is I'm saying that we want to find a line that passes through the coordinate -2, 3, and 5, 7, okay? And like I told you in the last video, in order to find the equation of a line, you need to be given two of these things. You need to be given coordinates and slope, coordinates y-intercept, y-intercept slope, so on and so forth. And a lot of you guys might say, hey, Mr. Flores, you just gave me two coordinates. But in reality, I did give you two coordinates, but I also gave you the slope, okay? Because if you remember from slope and rate of change, that slope, or m, is just equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, and I said this is a harder type of problem because before you can find the equation, you must first find the slope. And to find the slope, you must use the slope equation. So for this one, it's going to be 7 minus 3 over 5 minus -2, which simplifies to 4 over 7. Okay, so we know that for our equation, it's y equals 4/7 x plus b. Okay, now this is just like the problems we did in the last video. Okay, we have two coordinates here, -2, 3 and 5, 7. We know that our slope is 4/7, but we must find b. Okay, since the line that we're finding goes through both of these points, it does not matter if you substitute -2, 3 in for x and y or 5 and 7. I like to choose the equation with smaller numbers or no negatives, so I'm going to use this equation. So it comes out to 7 equals 4/7 times 5 plus b, which is 7 equals 20 over 7 plus b. Okay, to get the 20 over 7 away, we must subtract it from both sides. So it becomes 29 over 7 equals b, which gives us a grand total of the equation. Y equals 4/7 x plus 29 over 7 as our final equation. Again, a lot of you guys don't like fractions, but fractions come up a lot when we're graphing, okay? But that's all this problem is. You find the slope of the two between the two lines, substitute either coordinate into y and x, solve for b. All right. Let's do another one. Just gonna erase all this. Okay. So again, let's say that our line or our equation of our graph goes through the coordinates 3, -2, and then let's say 6, -6. Okay. Again, you're given two coordinates, but indirectly I give you the slope, because in order to find slope, we can use our 2 points using that m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So for this equation, m equals -6 minus a -2 over 6 minus 3, for a grand total of -6 plus 2 is -4, 6 minus 3 is a +3, so our m is equal to -4/3. So like I said, what I like to do is write our equation with what you're given, and then you can find out what you still have to find. So we have y equals -4/3 x plus b. We still must find our y-intercept. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 3, -2 and substitute into the equation. All right. So when I rewrite it, I get -2 equals -4/3 times 3 plus b. This becomes -2 equals -4 plus b. You must add 4 to both sides. And you get b equals a positive 2. So the final answer to this equation is y equals negative 4/3 x plus 2. All right. Again, not that hard, not that difficult. First, you use your 2 points to find the slope. Then you substitute a coordinate into your equation for y and x to solve for b, and rewrite your equation. Remember, you must write your equation into the final answer in y equals mx plus b form. You must have a slope. You must have a y-intercept. All right. So what I'll do is I'll do one more. Again, hopefully this isn't nothing too crazy. When we talk about parallel and perpendicular lines, you're going to have to do this method because it's very, very useful then. But let's say this last problem is this. All right. So we have our point 3, -7, 0, 2. All right. Again, the first thing we need to do is we need to find our slope. So let's say m is equal to 2 minus -7 over 0 minus 3, which becomes 9 over -3, which equals a -3. So we know that our equation is going to be y equals -3x. Actually, I don't like that up there. We know that our equation is going to be y equals -3x plus b. Okay. We don't know what b is, but we can easily find it. So what we want to do is we could substitute one of the coordinates in. I'm going to substitute this coordinate in because there's a 0. That's going to cancel. We get 2 equals b. And the final answer is y equals -3x plus 2. All right? And there's our equation. Okay? But hopefully you guys were paying attention, okay? And if you remember from when we did intercepts, your y-intercept is any coordinate with a 0 for the x value. So a shortcut you could have done in this problem is that right when you saw that I gave you this point, you automatically know that this was b because the x value is 0. Okay? So once you find your slope, you could have just done 2 and for b and you would have been done. You could have done this work, which is totally fine because you're just substituting points in. What I want to do is I'm going to do the same problem, okay? But instead of substituting 0, 2 in, I'll substitute in 3, -7. So it becomes -7 equals -3 times 3 plus b. You get -7 equals -9 plus b. Add 9, and you get b equals 2 for y equals -3x plus 2, which is the same thing we got when we substituted in the other point, okay? And that just shows that it doesn't matter which coordinate you substitute into the equation to find b. As long as you do your math right, you'll get the same answer, all right? Hopefully this made it a little easier for you guys. Now you'll be able to find the equation for anything we give you, whether it's a slope and point, 2 coordinates, y-intercept and coordinates, so on and so forth. And this video right here is going to be very, very vital in you completing the Desmos graphing project, okay? And I'll explain that in a little bit. But if you have questions, let me know. Check out the other videos. Make sure you do some practice problems, and have a good one.